So yesterday, if you have any interest in the stock market, you noticed a big jump. That's because a vaccine manufacturer said that they're entering into a large-scale phase trial where we might have a C19 virus vaccine before we know it. Could be as soon as November, December, or January. Oh my goodness, hallelujah, right? What does this mean for Las Vegas, and why might it not even matter? Why is it that a lot of people are going to be rejecting the vaccine? We're not going to talk about conspiracy theories, but we're going to talk about the wait and see approach and if this has any impact on us. We're also going to go over kind of how vaccines work in a really, really elementary manner. I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to be one. I don't play one on the YouTube or the TV. But I am Steven, and my name is Steven, and I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger. I hope you would like, share, subscribe to videos. Hit the bell for the future notifications. Leave us a comment below. During my live stream last night, do them at 7:30. I'm trying to start at 7:30 live streams. We asked the audience, would you take a C19 virus vaccine? And the audience was so passionate about this. Literally, my video buffered to nothingness. I was having a chat every half a second. Yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. So I'm curious, what do you think? Are you going to take it, or do you think it's just some big thing that Bill Gates is putting out? There's a lot of people think a lot of things, and you can say them in the comments here on this video. And I'll be interested to hear it. But this is very positive news, possibly for a city like Las Vegas, cities like Miami, Orlando. I heard a stat said 175 million people go to Orlando every single year. So other YouTubers on Vegas saying it's like Vegas is the busiest city. I guess we're not. 175 million go through Orlando just to see the Magic Kingdom. Pretty crazy stats. They need that vaccine too. But will they work? I don't know. You tell me. We're going to talk about that right now. If you guys want to reach out and support us on the channel, go over to Patreon. You guys can see blog posts that I post up that I can't post anywhere else. You guys can see early access to videos. I'm working on little clips from some videos from Chinatown when I was yesterday visiting, just doing a cool montage, stuff like that, and your name's in the credits. You guys can visit vegasfacemask.com. The wife makes these just a few feet away from me in the house. Look, you're going to have to buy a mask in most cases. You might as well get 2 for $25. Customize them, make them fashionable. They go around the back of your head, not your ears. Look at that. I slept in mine last night. Not like this. It was around my neck, but the only 2 you'll ever need, $25 plus free shipping anywhere in the USA. Oh my goodness. All right, we also have links to Amazon affiliates and Vegas.com. You're doing those things, shopping online anyways. You might as well use my links. They credit back the account, doesn't increase your price. Commercials aside, haters gonna hate. All right, so I am not a doctor. Okay, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm not a pro-vaxxer. After I did my live stream last night, I had people in my chats going, I'm quitting you. You're a pro-vaxxer. No, I'm a pro-health person. I think that we need to have health for people. I think that we need to achieve herd immunity for most things. And when we can do herd immunity, then we can vaccinate against something and then people can be healthy. So I'm not a pro-vaxxer. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm just a person who wants health. If it means a little baby should get a smallpox vaccination and it means that they should get things that'll save their lives, then so be it. If it means that a person should get a C19 virus, I almost said the word that YouTube still don't like it very much when you say those things, although they say it's okay. If you need to get a C19 vaccination, then you should get one, as long as it's safe for you. And you make your own decisions, right? You have that choice. But at the same time, what does it mean for Vegas if this actually happens? Well, it could mean a lot. I mean, first of all, it's going to fill people's psyches with confidence. People want confidence. I've told you guys in other videos in the past, and a little bit later today at 12 noon, I'm going to be doing a video. It's super hyper personal. This is my first video of the day. This is when everybody expects me to do a video. My 12 noon video is very personal today. It's going to open up about some things in my head, but people want consistency in their lives. If you don't have a consistent situation to live in, you're over anxious, you feel bad, you don't know what's going to happen in the future. If you don't have that consistency, everything is out the window. That's why people make bad decisions with money. That's why they make bad decisions in relationships, because they're looking for that kind of stone in their life to keep them anchored. Now, if it means that people are going to feel happy that they can travel because there's a vaccine and people getting vaccinated and maybe I don't get sick, then that's going to help a city like Las Vegas. If it's a false sense of that reality, if it's a false sense of them being happy, there's construction in my neighborhood. I can't do anything about it. If there's a false sense of that reality, then you know what? That's going to also help tourism in a negative way, because people could still come to a city like Las Vegas and they could still get sick, and it's still a major problem. But we do need to have a vaccine so we can achieve herd immunity faster if the vaccine operates in a specific way. Again, I'm not a doctor, right? You have two types of immunity antibodies. You have a type of vaccine that creates something that I've read called a neutralizing situation, and then you have a sterilizing situation. And in the long run, we want a vaccine to produce a sterilizing situation. A sterilizing situation basically fills your body with as many antibodies that it can possibly have. It means that if the virus ever enters into it, your body has an immediate response for the rest of your life. That's your one-time vaccine. Most vaccines are not one-time vaccines. You're supposed to get boosters. I didn't know about this until I moved here from Canada, and I found out that I was missing all these different vaccines, and I was in my 20s, so I had to go get a bunch of shots. It is what it is. But if we have a sterilizing vaccine, it's a one-time thing. It's one and done. There's like 25 to 30 different vaccine candidates all around the world, with everybody working on this like they've never worked on anything ever before. And if we can get to that scenario, then everybody is safe forever and more. If we get to a neutralizing situation, it only neutralizes some of the ability of your body to get sick. This is what we have with the common cold and the flu. The common cold has no vaccine, but the flu we can take a guess at. The flu comes around every single year. From one of my basic high school biology is it goes around the world, and every year it mutates a little bit. And every year the scientists and the doctors of the world try to guess what it's going to be like in that region. They make a vaccine and hopefully roll the dice that it's going to work. That's why some years when the flu virus is really bad, you don't have a great response to the vaccines. Lots of people get sick. And that's why some years when the flu isn't as bad, less people get sick. So if we have a neutralizing situation, that can lead to a situation with sterilization in our own bodies. But that would be less good. That would be less of a, one and done, set it and forget it, Bronco rotisserie oven. I have one of those, by the way. That would be less of a set it and forget it solution. That would just give people confidence that maybe next year they have to get a booster, maybe next year they have to get a new vaccine, and we just throw it into the flu shot. The flu shot is a vaccine. People don't like vaccines, but they'll get a flu shot. You're vaccinated from that year's version of the flu, as far as I understand it, and I could be completely wrong, and if I am, be nice in the comments to me. But that means that everybody is getting a shot every year. Some people refuse the shot, and that's their right to do so, but at the same time, lots of people get that, and they don't flip out over it, which I don't understand entirely. And you tell me in the comments below if you have any idea about that. I think there are so many unknowns. I think that the powers that be have got us to a point where we just don't trust anybody anymore. It doesn't matter if you have an R for Republican or a D for Democrat next to your name. There's a really good chance that you don't trust the government in some way, shape, or form. And if that's the case, it becomes increasingly more difficult for us to trust the government to do the right thing with our health. And if the government's not doing the right thing with our health, that's one of the last things that we actually have that's personal enough that we can control it, right? And that's the big thing. We want to have control. Remember what I said before? We want to have consistency. When we feel like things are spiraling out of control, we don't know what's happening, we don't have consistency, we get panicked. We make bad decisions for ourselves. When the government thought things were spiraling out of control, they put on us a massive scenario of possibly 2 million people passing away from C19 virus. And although it's been a lot more than just one, which is a total tragedy, it's probably never going to get to 2 million people, no matter how much people on one side or the other want to tell you it's going to be terrible. So with that, I will say this. If a vaccine does come out, when it does come out, it's going to be beneficial for Las Vegas. It's going to make the psyche a little bit better. People are going to feel freed up to travel, whether or not they actually have a sterilizing situation or a neutralizing situation. They're going to know that their chances of getting sick are diminished demonstrably. So it's going to be better for the city. Whether or not it's better for the world, if we have a vaccine and there's a bunch of side effects 6 months, a year, 10 years later, well, that's something that we have to face, and that's something that the world will have to reunite on and have a united response on. And that's hard for us to do nowadays too. Everybody is at each other's throats. We have, USA versus China, Russia versus USA, everybody versus everybody else. But I would just wish we would come together and make a pact to try to get over something. Get over the worst pathogen, one of the worst pathogens in terms of communicability, not necessarily in terms of, taking lives. There's been worse in the past. But one of the worst things in terms of actually getting people sick. That's what we're dealing with right now. So the next time you're having some political conversation with somebody over this, just try to remember that they're a human being too. They're probably freaked out. They probably don't have their level of consistency, and just give them a chance to hear what they have to say. You don't always have to agree with what they have to say, but you have to come to terms with the fact that they hold an opinion that you might get something out of. So that's my ideas and that's my thoughts on what a C19 vaccine might look like to do for Las Vegas. I would be interested to know what you think in the comments below. Are you one of the folks that will never take one? You're just going to wait for herd immunity? Or are you one of the people that is in the high-risk group that will put yourself out there because you know that it's going to be a lot better to get something like a vaccine than it is to get sick with this thing? Because high-risk groups, people do have different sensibilities than a lot of folks out there. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the video. Hit that bell for future notifications. I'm actually miming the hitting a bell. Feels like I'm calling for dinner. If you guys want to support the channel, reach out on Patreon. You guys can do that there. VegasFaceMask.com. The only masks you'll ever need. They are so awesome, and I love them so much. And you guys will get 2 for $25. And we'll talk to you guys in the live stream tonight. Check out the Facebook group, Not Leaving Las Vegas, for more. And you guys can have conversations there. Only a few rules. One of them, we don't talk about politics. Ain't that nice? A politics-free zone on the internet. All right, we got to go. This is the time of the video where I say 3, 2, 1, click. So 3, 2, 1, and click.